What radio? The music you want.
With your host, Keys Dan.
Go ahead. Make my millennium.
RadioWhat.com. What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous. It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. If you need DJ services, I encourage you to go to DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote. It's easy. It's easy. You can have me at your event. It's Thursday. June the 6th. Ooh, D-Day. Remember those that fought at D-Day. And my show tonight is at the Old Post Barbecue in Russellville, Arkansas. Kind of excited about that. And that's a video dance party, karaoke jam. They got great barbecue and drinks for the adults, but it's a kid-friendly show, so family-friendly. Bring the whole family to the Old Post Barbecue, 6 to 9. Tonight, that's Thursday. On Friday night, tomorrow night, June 7th, that will be over at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. That starts at 8 p.m. They got a full bar. They got kitchen open. They got the pool tournament. And, of course, they got the dance floor and the video dance party karaoke jam with yours truly, Keys Dan, hanging out with you. I'm so excited about that. Yeah, that's tomorrow night, Friday night at the Rab. And then Saturday, I got a wedding on Saturday. Yeah, it's a repeat wedding. I've had weddings with this family before, so I'll be going all the way down to, where am I going? Riverwoods. Oh, in Camden. Okay, it's down in Camden. I'm so stoked about that. Excited. Weddings. It is wedding season, and I like weddings. Today on the program, Christine Higgins, the cause mom of the cause prom and the cause con. Yeah, she's all about the cosplay. And I'm so excited to talk to her a little bit more about the cause con that's coming up on July 27th at the airport, the Holiday Inn Airport, from 10 until 6 is the cause con, and then the cause prom is directly after it. We got karaoke and until about 8:30 or so, and then all the way up to midnight, dance the night away, hanging out with your friends in cosplay at the cause con and cause prom, July 27th at the airport Holiday Inn. Yeah, having a holiday. Let's get into talking to Christine Higgins right about now.
Hello.
Hi, Christine Higgins, please.
This is her.
Oh, is this the cause mom of the cause prom, of the cause con, of the cause, well, any kind of cause, I suppose.
It is.
Yeah. Well, this is Keys Dan from the What Makes You Famous podcast. How's your day?
Wet.
How's your day?
It's wet.
Wet. Oh, okay. All right. Got a lot of moisture. Are you being affected by the? Are you being affected by the floods in Central Arkansas?
Not yet.
Yet. Wait. Is there a chance that you could be?
There is a chance that we will be.
No, thank you. What part of Central Arkansas are you?
Well, my husband works at the airport.
Okay.
And the roads are about to start getting shut down, which means he won't be able to go to work.
Is that the Clinton National Airport?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's a big one. Hopefully that one's high ground. But you say you're lower ground than the National Airport? Where you? What city are you in?
I'm in Little Rock.
Little Rock. Okay, but not up on the Little Rock, because isn't the Little Rock named so because it's higher? Maybe. Why was it named Little Rock? I don't know.
And well, I can tell you, what they said when we were kids is that when they were exploring the river, someone said to tie off to that little rock.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe, possibly, maybe not. Okay. That sounds fun. Yeah, I heard many different things about toads suck in the Conway, Arkansas area, still central Arkansas. Many different ideas of why it's named Toad Suck. So who knows why things are named what they are. I think I'll have to look up what Little Rock, why it was named Little Rock. So you're out there in the Little Rock, Arkansas area, central Arkansas, and lots of cool things happen there. Like weather. It seems like we've been experiencing lots of rain, and there's lots of flooding going on at this particular time and moment. So this podcast could be a little bit of a time capsule of what's going on at this time and place and moment. But notwithstanding, Christine Higgins, this podcast is about you. Who is Christine Higgins, and why? Why did she come around, and how did she come to be? Where are you from, Christine Higgins?
Well, I was raised in Little Rock, and I was raised in Little Rock, and I lived in Pensacola, Florida, for about 15 years, and then came back to Little Rock.
Okay.
And
so this is your young life?
Yes.
You were in Pensacola. How did you get to Pensacola?
My dad lives there.
Oh.
And I just kind of wanted to change.
Okay. All right. So mom and dad split up at some point?
Yes.
And then you went to Pensacola to be with dad. Okay. Well, that's cool. I'm a Florida guy myself. Keys, Dan, Florida Keys. So, okay. And you're back in Little Rock. So those are the two places you lived in primarily.
Yes.
All right. Where'd you spend your school days?
And I graduated from Benton High School, but most of my school days were in Little Rock.
Little Rock. Benton High School. Yeah, I think I know somebody that went to Benton High School, and she said, I never want to go back ever again.
No.
Not even for a reunion. Not even for a special,
No.
Hey, welcome back to Benton. All right. Not to poop on Benton too much. I've been there many times, and I've done lots of parties in Benton. I like it. I mean, shoot, I'm an outsider. I just got here in comparison. But other people have different ideas about that. So, all right. How about, did you spend what kind of extracurricular activities did you do in high school?
None.
None. No clubs, no swimming, no dancing, no just, okay. What would you consider yourself?
No, because honestly, I was that geek that if I wasn't playing D&D, I was probably playing a video game.
See, now that's something. You did have activities in school. You played D&D. You played video games. What was your video game console?
Oh, Lord. Back then, it was, I think it was the Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo. What's the game of choice? The one you spent the most time on?
Oh, Mario Brothers 3.
Go ahead. Do the theme song with me. Do 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 do. Yes, we know the Super Mario's 3. And any Super Mario's pretty much has that theme song in the background. Now, D&D, I've been talking to people over some time on this podcast, and they've played D&D, role-playing games. What's your experience with D&D, and what is D&D?
D&D is for Dungeons and Dragons. It is a role-playing game that you use your imagination instead of electronics. It is a fantastic, awesome thing to do.
Fantastic, awesome thing to do. Well, you call yourself a self-proclaimed nerd, and I'm not sure if that's a fantastic, awesome name to give, but it seems like nerd has become more mainstream than even jock.
It has definitely become chic to be geek.
Chic to be. That sounds like it's from a movie. Come on, is it from a movie?
Not that I know of.
Now, it sounds like you're in an office. What are you doing?
I am. I'm at work.
At work, and they're allowing you to be on a podcast at work?
And I'm actually the only one here today, so.
Okay. All right. Well, we won't tell anybody that you're podcasting at work. Oh, wait. We're telling everybody that you're podcasting at work. What kind of work do you do?
And I work for a dental office.
Dental office. So nobody needs their teeth cleaned or straightened or anything today?
Not today.
Is that a normal Thursday thing? You don't schedule any appointments?
No, our dentist actually has walking pneumonia right now, so that's why we don't have any patients.
I think that sounds like a song. I hope he feels better, but it's like the rocking pneumonia and the boogie woogie blues, I think was a song of the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. I did classic rock for a while when I was in Miami on a radio station down there. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a song. I cannot remember who sang it, but I hope he feels better. Wow. Pneumonia. I've had pneumonia over the years. I had it when I was, I used to go indoors and outdoors a lot, and they think that is where I got my pneumonia. Is that something that he does? Does he do a lot of in and outdoor activities?
I have no idea.
Not a golfer, maybe?
And his daughter actually just had a baby, and he's been spending a lot of time at the hospital, so he thinks he caught it from the hospital.
You can catch pneumonia? I guess you can. Yes,
you can. Pneumonia.
Okay, see, I don't know how I got it. I thought it was from, well, maybe it is a virus, isn't it?
Well, they have two kinds. They have a bacterial, and then they have a viral.
All right. I'm getting schooled on this podcast. All right. Thank you very much. So, dentist, dental, you work in a dental facility. What kind of dental work do you do?
Well, I do all the paperwork, so okay. I don't do any of it.
Administrative.
Yes.
Very good. Oh, man. I need somebody to keep my papers straight for sure. Being on the creative side of this field, my mind gets scattered from time to time. So, yeah, if I had somebody to do my paperwork, that would be wonderful. And I do. I usually throw all my paperwork at an accountant, and then they take care of it. And that's a good thing to have an administrative assistant. Is that your title?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So how did you? Let's go back to just after high school in Benton. You graduate high school with a degree of D&D and video games, and you're heading off into the world. What are you doing, you nerd? You're playing D&D and video games. What are you going to do with that? No. Once you get out of high school, where do you go?
Oh, goodness. Well, once I got out of high school, I actually got married.
Hey, mazel tov.
Yeah, well, I was married for 2 years.
Okay.
And got divorced because I should have never gotten married.
Hey, that happens. See, and that's another learning thing is do all the stuff you want to do in your 20s, kids. Wait till you're 30 to get married. Because by that time, your brain has fused and you have an idea of what you want to be when you grow up. Is that your experience?
Yeah.
Yeah. Learn. We're learning.
Yes.
All right. So after 2 years.
I am one of those. Yes. I have made many mistakes in my life, but I would never go back and change any of them.
Did any good come out of
it? Because I would not be the person that I am today without them.
So did any good come out of that marriage?
No.
Okay. After you're done.
Lesson.
Well, a lesson. There you go. You learned a lesson. So after that, all right. 2 years later, what happened?
2 years later is when I moved to Florida.
Florida. That's when you went to Pensacola to live with Dad.
Yes.
Okay, so you spent your whole childhood and school life here in Central Arkansas, and then you went to Pensacola.
Yes,
how was that experience?
It was really great. I learned a lot of things, did a lot of things. I actually joined a car club and had a customized car.
Car club?
And, we went and did car shows and stuff.
What kind of car did you have?
I had a little Geostorm GSI.
Now, is that a showing car?
After the $2,000 paint job that I put on it and the $1,500 gold rims that I put on it. Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. A lot of boys just perked up on this podcast. Hey, what? She did what? What did she do? That's my kind of girl. Yeah. All right, so you souped up a Geostorm.
Yes.
That almost sounds like a movie, Geostorm. I think there is a movie called Geostorm. Yes, there is. There is. It was on another podcast, How Did This Get Made, with Paul Scheer. And they did that movie, Geostorm. And the whole crowd yelled, Geostorm! But it has nothing to do with the car. I don't believe so. All right, so you had this cool car. You're in a car show. You're in Pensacola, which is really kind of like South Georgia, I guess. It's not really Florida.
They call it Lower Alabama.
Lower Alabama. There you go. Okay, Tallahassee might be the more South Georgia, but yes, Lower Alabama. And are you close to the ocean at all? Are you getting any swim time?
Oh, yeah, we went to the ocean every weekend.
Every weekend. And that's the Gulf, right?
Yes.
Yes, the Gulf of Mexico. Cool. Yeah, I caught the Gulf of Mexico when I was in the Florida Keys, but from the bottom of Florida, on that part of the Gulf. But then in the Florida Keys, you can walk across the street and you'll be in the Atlantic Ocean. Isn't that cool? So you spent some time in Pensacola in a car club. Any other cool things you do?
Not really while I was in Pensacola. I mean, we used to do road trips and stuff, but other than that, that was pretty much it. I was young and stupid and did a lot of partying.
Hey, that's all right. That's what you're supposed to do in your 20s. You're supposed to have fun. You're supposed to experience things. You're supposed to fall down and get back up. Fall down and get back up. It's a really good time to do these things because you're invincible. You're made of rubber. Things pretty much bounce off of you. Your Wolverine healing skill abilities are still intact when you're in your 20s. So jump off of stuff, but not too high stuff. Okay, and do it responsibly, kids. All right, that's a message from the What Makes You Famous podcast. All right, Christine Higgins. Now you say you took road trips. Any cool road trips?
Actually, what we used to do is we had a map that had a 150-mile radius marked out, and we would throw a dart at the map, and wherever it landed, that's where the car club would go.
What's a map, Mommy? And what year was this, Mommy? What are maps?
Right?
I don't know what a map is. I have Google Maps. Is that the same thing? No. Okay. So what year was this approximately?
This was around 94, 95, 96.
Oh, right. 94, 95. I think I was in Orlando at that point. I lived there for about a year. So, all right. And I guess we could have visited. We're a little closer together than than when I was further away. All right. So, Pensacola, you're doing these trips. You threw your darts. Where'd the dart land?
Oh, so many different places. I think the coolest thing that we saw was it was in Alabama, and it was a house that was by a poet, designed by a poet, and it was a big giant mushroom.
I like it. Did any caterpillars come out from the top?
Huh?
Did any caterpillars come around from the top of the mushroom?
No, but it would have been cool.
So it's not an Alice in Wonderland type of situation.
No, it was not an Alice in Wonderland. It was just a big giant mushroom.
I like it. Cool houses are interesting, and people that say, "Oh, I travel around the world." There is so much to see in this country. Biggest ball of twine, largest spoon, stuff like that. And if you see a house with a mushroom, you got to stop. You got to take pictures. You got to know more about what was going on in this mushroom house. So what did you find out about the mushroom house, if you can remember?
Just that it was a poet that decided he wanted to live in a mushroom house.
I can dig it. Hey, if I had the means, I'd probably live in a mushroom house. So you get out of this mushroom house and you're partying. What do you construe as partying? What do you think is partying hard in your 20s?
We'd go to the clubs every night.
I went to the clubs every night. Of course, I was the DJ, but, that's another story. but clubs every night. All right. And doing some dancing.
Yeah.
All
Lots
right.
of dancing.
I like it. I expect you to dance at the next show that we do together. And that should be coming real soon. But I think I'm getting ahead of myself. All right. So we're going through the years with Christine Higgins, the cause mom of the cause prom, of the cause con, of the cause. So many causes. All right. Christine Higgins, you are, you're, all right. You're in Pensacola and spending time with Dad. What did Dad do?
My father actually retired from the Navy after 22 years.
Hey, in the Navy. That's cool.
Yes.
What was his job in the Navy?
I have. Well, at one point, I know he was at the Pentagon and dealt with a lot of classified stuff.
Oh, shush. So, they might be listening. Shh.
Don't know what exactly it was. And then he was actually head of a helicopter squadron at Whiting Field.
That is great. Like flying helicopters in the back seat, jumping out.
Oh no, he was the one that told them, "Y'all go fly."
There you go. Communications. I did that with Aeromed down in Miami. Helicopters. That's cool. All right. I like that. Navy. Never again volunteer yourself. So, did you have any inklings or desires to go in the armed forces?
No.
Say, nope. I almost went in the Navy, but my brother ended up there. He's 6 years in the Navy. Never went on a boat. Get that. And he spent most of his time in Orlando, and that's even landlocked. I don't even know where there's any ocean in Orlando. It's an hour away. Weird. But,
well, I'll tell you, I was born in Millington, Tennessee, at the Navy base there, and it's landlocked.
Tennessee? There's no Navy in Tennessee. How do you have a Navy? What do you here? We're going on that lake over there, on that puddle.
Well, there's a lot more to the Navy than boats.
All right. I know that. I'm being funny. My attempt at humor ceases to amaze. Christine Higgins. All right. So, okay. You get back. Well, are you done in Pensacola? Where are you heading?
And I moved back to Arkansas.
All right. With Mom?
Oh, I just had a patient pull up.
Okay. We may have to continue this later.
Yes, if it's okay.
No problem. Just give me a call whenever.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry.
No, call me as soon as you can. Bye now.
Okay. All right, bye.
And that's how it happens sometimes, party people. Sometimes you got to cut the podcast a little short because people are working. You know, people got to work, and she's in the dentist office cleaning people's teeth. So maybe the next time you hear me, we'll be back with Christine Higgins, the cause mom of the cause prom of the cause con.
Hello,
Christine Higgins. You want to do?
Hey.
You want to do this again? You want to go more?
Sure.
All right. So what happened to your patient?
They had a crown come off.
Oh, but can they get fixed today? Because the doctor's not in?
They cannot get it fixed today.
Oh, no. You don't have any super glue under the desk there?
Oh, my gosh, no.
Staple? Anything?
Let me tell you, that is one of the worst things to do to your teeth is to glue super glue. And you would not believe how many people do it.
See, you just don't know what tips you're going to get from Christine Higgins, the cause mom, the cause con, the cause prom, the cause person. Don't glue your teeth. Don't do it, kids. I don't care what sticks you're living in. In what part of Arkansas. Don't put super glue in the mouth. And you say that happens more than I think it would.
Oh, yes.
Well, all right, Christine Higgins. She's back. And we're back. We're back in Little Rock. You got back? Did you you come back to visit with your mom?
I moved back to Arkansas, and I was here for a couple of years. I kind of went on a wanderlust in my 20s and did a lot of moving back and forth.
You did what? You went where to where?
I did a kind of a wanderlust in my 20s.
Okay.
And I moved around a lot in my 20s.
I like that. Walkabout. I think that's what they call it in Australia. So, Wanderlust, any cool places you lived in your 20s?
I lived in Memphis, in Oxford, in Gulfport, Pensacola, Little Rock, and Fayetteville.
Well, that sounds pretty cool. What are the good spots? What's the place to land if you had your druthers? Where would you want to be?
Probably back in Pensacola.
Pensacola, yeah, because of the water or because of the memories.
Oh no, because of the water.
The water. Yeah, that's one thing I miss about Florida is the ocean. My world turned from blue to green. So I even changed my logo. It was primarily blue. My website was blue. Now it's more green. So yeah, but I kind of like the natural state. The people are different. And I remember Miami was more of a melting pot. It seemed like because it was a tourist town, it was a lot more, I don't know, maybe it was endearing, but and then when I got to Arkansas, it was a little more segregated. But now I find little pockets of, I think the world is changing in that respect. I don't know, what are your thoughts? You've been in Pensacola and lots of different places in this South. What do you think about the culture changing?
And I think that it's changing for the better. And I do think that there are people in charge who don't want it to change.
Okay.
So we have some roadblocks.
How so?
Oh gosh. Well, we have a senator that no matter what the Arkansas people vote for, he does everything he can to go against it.
Okay. You're allowed to name names. I mean, this is your podcast, and we can go political. A lot of people say, the two things you're never supposed to talk about are religion and politics. You know what I like to talk about on my podcast? Religion and politics, because it's polarizing. and I find that, recently I've heard on a different podcast was that, people think differently. You put them in an MRI machine, they think differently. Republicans and Democrats, you put them in an MRI machine, they think differently. Gays, straights, they think differently.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, if you put them in an MRI. So because you have different views, it's not a fault. It's how you think. And you'll find that if you talk to people, they're more down the middle than you might think. People all pretty much. I mean, I know there's but the majority, they want their kids to be good and they healthy and they want to have food every day. They want to have a roof over their heads. They want to have money in their pockets. Pretty much everyone wants those things. And whether you're Democrat or Republican, you just come at it from different directions, So, yeah, I have no problems talking about that. So who's the senator? Come on, fire some shots.
Oh, I'm not going to name. Well, you know what? Anyone who follows me on Facebook knows because I have blasted it everywhere. That it's Jason Rupert out of the Conway area.
All right.
So he did a campaign to have the nation's motto put into the Cabot School or the Conway schools.
The nation's motto,
which the nation motto is "In God We Trust."
Oh, okay.
And I made a comment on his thread, and I said, well, just out of curiosity, if a Muslim child who attends this school would like to see a sign that says "In Allah We Trust," would they be allowed?
Sure.
And his response to me was, if you don't like America, there are planes leaving every day.
All right. And just so you know, Jason Raper, you have the opportunity to come on this podcast and debate, rebuke. I can even put the three of us on a phone call, or we can go face to face. Now, I'm in Conway, so I'd be happy to go visit you in your office if you want to rebuke and if you want to chit chat with Christine Higgins or myself. Hey, I'm happy to talk about things and why why you have the views you have. So, all right. So that's one thing yeah, I see you. I feel you on that. And, yeah, I figure if you put in God we trust, we got to put everything else. So, yeah. Who do you trust?
I agree. I think that this country was founded on people fleeing religious persecution.
Sure. But then the devil's advocate would that people prayed in schools a lot more back in the day, and kids respected more back in the day. What do you think on that side of the field?
And I don't have an issue with prayer in school. I have an issue with it only being one prayer in school.
Okay.
I think that if you are Christian, you should be able to pray a Christian prayer. If you are Muslim, if you're a Buddhist, if you're Wiccan, I think that it should all be accepted.
Very good. Yeah, I remember I went to Catholic school till I was in 6th grade. And yeah, there was a lot of prayer in that respect. But then after that, I went to public school, and this is 82. I think I went to 6th grade. No, 7th grade, and that was in Fort Lauderdale. So Catholic school in Miami, St. Monica's Catholic School. Don't even know if it's still there, but shout out. And then I went to Pioneer Middle in Cooper City in the Fort Lauderdale area. And I remember on the morning announcements, they had "and now 1 minute moment of silence," and that was the extent of it. I don't even know if they still have that anymore. Do you deal with any?
Yeah, I know, because I have a 15-year-old, and I haven't experienced that with this school.
So no moment of silence, no spot for if you want to reflect on whatever.
Not that I've seen.
Okay, all right.
Not saying it's not there, but not that I've seen.
Not in the school that you're associated with.
Yes.
Well, all right. Well, I'm learning a little bit more about what's going on in schools these days. All right, so you got to Little Rock, and what happened as soon as you hit the rock?
I actually joined an organization called the SCA.
What's that?
Which is Society for Creative Anachronism.
What's that?
And they recreate the Middle Ages.
Okay, how so?
They have weekend events all the way up to 4 week-long events. And you go and camp, and you dress in medieval clothes, and you eat medieval foods, and just kind of take a step out of reality and a step out of time.
I don't know if I like the medieval food too much. What is medieval food?
It's just different ways to cook what we have now.
All right. Well,
honestly,
yeah. What the images I have are King Henry eating a turkey leg.
Oh yeah,
a lot of turkey legs.
Lots of turkey legs. Lots of turkey legs.
Lots of stuff that you can eat by hand, I guess. Because was there utensils in the Middle Ages?
They did have them.
They did. All right.
I
was watching, what was it, The Cable Guy years ago. And I remember, Janine Garofalo, her small part as the waitress at Medieval Times, says, would you like Coke or Pepsi? Oh, no, I'd like and Matthew Broderick says, I'd like a fork. And she says, there were no forks in medieval times, so you cannot have a fork at medieval times. And she said, and then Matthew Broderick's was, yeah, but they had Coke and Pepsi.
I remember that.
Yeah. So is this the kind of thing? Is it strict to where you are going all out and nothing from not medieval times is represented, or are you still letting them have a soda if they want?
The best way to explain the SBA, it is recreating the Middle Ages the way they should have been. So they have, the campsites we go to, they do have bathrooms and showers and,
okay.
Electricity. And so.
If the Middle Ages never stopped and just kept going to now, that's
pretty
where you're
much,
at.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. We're evolving in the Middle Ages. Okay. So cool. I mean, the SCA, this is something that you did in your 20s?
Yes.
And are you still doing that?
No.
Okay, all right. When did you stop doing that?
I stopped for a while when I turned 29.
29.
And because I got pregnant with my son.
Hooray!
And when I got pregnant with him, I made the decision that I am now a mom. And that's what I need to concentrate on, is being a mom.
See, kids, this is what I'm talking about. You go in your 20s, you do whatever you want, you find where you want to be, and then by the time you're 30, you better start thinking about being an adult. Is that your experience?
Yes.
All right. So you're doing some adulting, 29 years old.
Yes.
And any other cool things that you tried to experience in your 20s?
Actually, I went to a convention. It was one of the first 5 Dragon Cons.
Oh, that kind of a convention. I thought you meant like a dental convention, a carpenter's convention.
No, it was a con.
A Comic-Con.
Yes, and this is probably one of the highlights of my cosplay convention career. Is I won a silent auction and got to have lunch with Stan Lee.
Stop it.
Yes,
what,
I did.
Where is Dragon Con? Is that in Texas?
No, that's the one that's in Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta. So you met Stan the Man.
I did meet Stan the Man.
This is in your at 29 or this is in your 20s?
I was 26, 27.
What year was this?
90. I want to say it was 99, 2000, somewhere around that area.
No, that sounds great. And so did you have any interaction with Stan the Man? I mean, besides maybe taking a picture, did you get to at least say a couple words to him?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we had a full lunch with him. There was 20 of us there, but oh, yeah, he talked to us and interacted with us and asked us questions, and we asked him questions. He's a pretty cool, laid-back guy.
And what knowledge did you get from Stan the Man?
To have a passion for what you do.
Okay.
Was the biggest thing that he said.
So was he decked out in the glasses and the button-down shirt? Did he look like Stan Lee?
And he did, just a little younger.
Just his regular Stan Lee uniform?
Oh, yes.
I mean, I think about the glasses. I know that his eyes were going out towards the end, and that's why he started wearing those shades everywhere. And then, of course, they probably ended up being part of his persona where he looked cool, too.
Yes.
So, all right, you had a lunch with Stan Lee. That is excellent. Did you get any pictures?
I did.
You still have them?
I do not.
Oh, see, I've lost things over the years.
I know. I had a computer about 9 years ago get a virus on it, and it just wiped everythking.
How sad.
And they were on my computer.
See, and then this is one thing is printing pictures out. A lot of pictures live on our social media and in our electronics, but not a lot of people are printing pictures out. The pictures I have on my wall are probably 20, 30 years old. You know, my grandma, my grandpa, my mom and dad, they're on my wall. But do I have any recent pictures printed out? No. But then when I go to Walgreens, I see people at the kiosk still printing pictures. So, yeah, this is something I need to do. Print pictures. Put them up on your wall. Yeah. People don't do that too much anymore. How are your walls filled up?
My walls actually in my hallway is covered in pictures.
Pictures, like new pictures, recent pictures?
And the most recent picture was from 3 years ago. 3
years. Hey, that's pretty recent. Still in the electronic age. And this is what I'm talking about. So you're still printing out pictures and putting them up on the walls.
I am. And then I have a wall in my dining room, because I have a huge dining room, and I have a wall on my dining room that's like my.
She's got a huge dining room, kids.
It's my con wall.
Okay.
So I have pictures from my conventions and all of my badges, and any autographs that I get and stuff on that wall.
That's pretty neat. I keep all my badges hanging up on the closet door, on their lanyards.
Oh, yes.
So, all right. So, what was the first con? Was Dragon Con the first con, or what was the first Comic-Con you went to?
My first Comic-Con was actually in 1985.
They had them back then? Tell me, Grandma.
They did.
Tell me, Mama, what happened in 1985?
I was 11 years old, and I had spent the weekend with a friend and went with her and her family. And I'll be honest with you, it was almost underground.
Okay.
It was in a basement of a building in Little Rock.
All right.
And you actually had to knock on the door to get entrance.
Are you sure this was a Comic-Con? Was it a guy in a van that gave you candy and took you to this place?
No, it was an actual convention because that was my first experience with cosplay.
Okay. And you dressed up for this?
People were dressed up in costume and it wasn't Halloween.
So you dressed up for this, or did you?
And I did not.
Okay, yeah. Somebody's dragging you to this basement, and you're saying, "Where am I going? Where am I going?" So, was it a big, giant basement, or was it just somebody's house?
No, it was a basement to one of the buildings. No longer there, but it was one of the old municipal buildings.
Okay. Do you remember what the name of this Comic-Con was?
No.
Okay, no problem. Jim's Comic-Con, Billy Joe Jim Bob's Comic-Con. And
yes.
So you got there, you knocked on the door, you gave them the password, and what was your experience?
I thought for the first time in my life, I felt like I fit in.
Yeah.
Because, growing up here in the 80s, you were one of two people. You were either a prep, like Saved by the Bell.
Sure.
Or you were hip hop, like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Sure. Where did you fall in this spectrum?
I was heavy metal and, headbanging and different colored hair and the total opposite of both of those.
Oh, okay.
But I was a Star Trek fan and Star Wars fan, and it's like I finally met people that were just like me, and it was awesome.
Yeah. So you found your home, your people.
I did. I found my people. I did a panel a couple of years ago, and they asked me, "Why do you do this?" And I do this because for the first time in my life, I have found weird people whose weirdness fits my weirdness.
I can dig it. I think I was checking out my my speakers at Heroes and Angels Comic-Con just recently, and I've turned the music on. I put a couple of superhero songs on, and then I turned my mic on, and I looked out into the crowd of people, and I went, "Nerds." And they turned to me, and so, some of them started just clapping. It looked like an 80s movie. I think over there I think it might have been Nathan Mobley. He kind of looked over and gave me like a slow clap, 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 clap. Nerds. So it was I had an 80s moment there. So all right, so in the 80s, and this is me. All right, you're 11 years old. I'm graduating high school in 1986. So as I'm leaving high school, starting my music career, I suppose, in the radio, you are getting into Comic-Cons. This is where you want to be for the rest of your days. So, all right. So, what was the next con you did, and did you dress up for that one? Did you find the urge?
The first time that I actually cosplay I was 17 years old. 17,
not too far into the future. Yes. And what did you dress up as? What was your first cosplay?
Jim from Jim and the Holograms.
I like that. So, how would you do a hologram? Just the way she's dressed?
Well, the Holograms, that was the name of her band.
Right, but she's a hologram, though.
No.
Isn't that the whole thing? Is that she is...
She is real, but her clothes and stuff. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've
Okay,
seen them.
I think the thing is that Jem is a real person, but she's very shy. If I'm not mistaken, she's very shy. So what she does is she projects this persona on stage via hologram. I thought that's the way it was. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe that's another show that I want to produce. So anybody has that capability of helping me produce that show? I'd like to make a show of somebody who's very shy and wants to stay in the background, but knows how to sing very well, and then wants to make a video projection, a hologram projection out on stage. I think that's a great show. So Jem and the Holograms, you dressed up as Jem and the Holograms. How did that go over?
It went pretty well, actually.
Yes. And how did you feel putting on that costume? How did you feel when you went to that Comic-Con? Do you remember which one it was?
I do not.
Okay.
And it
was it another basement?
No, this was actually. You're so funny.
No, this time you did get picked up in a van.
This one was actually in Memphis.
Oh, okay.
We were driven over there, and
so how was that experience? Taking a drive to a place. I know you're already 17. You're a bit older. How did you feel?
Free.
So
I felt like I could be myself.
Who did you go with?
And I went with some friends of mine that I'm no longer friends with. Just, time and stuff has separated us, but it was a big group of us that went.
See, that's cool. And were they all dressed up in cosplay?
No.
Okay.
About half of them were.
Half and half. That's cool. I mean, did the other half at least have like a superhero T-shirt maybe? Or were they into it?
I don't remember.
All right.
It's been so long ago.
17 wasn't that long ago. We're not that old.
Oh, yeah.
17 was a great year. Although 23 was probably my best year. I was in great shape back then. All right, I digress. We're talking about Christine Higgins here, the Cosmom of the Cosprom, of the cosplay, of the Cos-Con. There's a lot of cos in there. And I know we're alluding to something that's happening. So, yes, you're at your cons. And throughout the years, are you going to cons? How many times a year?
Off and on, because I would get really big into it, and then I would step back and get back into it, step back. But I think my record is I did 18 in 1 year. 18.
That is crazy. That's more than one a month. No, that's crazy. And you see how I did that? More than one a month, 18. I know math. Math good. Stay in school. Learn your math. So speaking of that, did you stay in school? Were you? Did you do any college or any other classes throughout your 20s?
I did not. Good,
because I went to college a bunch of times for various reasons, but it didn't stick. So okay,
and
so life was.
Someone told me one time that the only thing college does is it shows a potential employer that you can be taught. Correct. So.
And if you can go ahead and just do that, get an entry level job or find an aunt or an uncle that can give you a little nepotism. Because sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Oh, yeah.
Believe that to be true. So, and learn a different language, as I know Spanish, and that's gotten me so many jobs that I'm not qualified for. I can't stress that enough. Learn another language: Chinese, Japanese, Spanish, Arabic, whatever. Learn another language. That's a good thing to have in your pocket.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I get jobs. You're really not qualified. Oh, but you speak Spanish. Come on in. Yeah. It's happened many times over the course of my short life. I'm not that old.
Well, I'll tell you, there has been many jobs that I was overqualified for, but could not get the job because I was not bilingual.
Right. All right.
So
there is the other side of that coin. So yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so life is happening in your 20s. In addition to going to cons, what other interests are you developing here in your 20s? And life is happening. So how are you making money?
Had a whole bunch of jobs.
Joe jobs. Nothing that you'd consider a career.
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Very good. Hey, Joe jobs are good too. They give you experience and let you know what you want to do and what you don't want to do. Do you need to get that phone?
Yeah.
There's people that need their teeth done,
No, it's okay. But leave a message and I can call them back.
Oh, see? Now, anybody that's listening from your office, she did not do this podcast during work business hours. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. And this is a pretty interesting aspect of this podcast, that you're hanging out at your job, but you're still doing your job while you're chatting with little old me, Christine Higgins. So let's scoot through your 20s, and you 29, you're pregnant, you're having a baby. You're having my baby.
I do.
You're having
I have
my baby.
a baby.
Yes. And what happens?
And I will tell you, having my son absolutely changed my life.
Yes, it would.
So,
because until then, you're thinking about kids. You're going, oh, I'll never have kids, or ooh, those are your kids, man. Your kids are rotten. And
oh no, I love kids. I've always loved kids.
That's cool.
Up until I got pregnant, I never thought it would be in the cards for me. So.
Yeah, and you're always a kid at heart. Being in the cosplay, it's such a good community of people that are like minded. I don't know if I consider myself a cosplayer, but I'm so enamored with cosplayers. I love the effort that people put into costumes. I mean, what was your most intricate costume that you did over the years that you had to put a lot of time and effort into?
Probably one of my more recent ones, my Ursula.
Ursula, like with the arms, and you had to look like an octopus, right?
Yes.
How long did that take to put together?
Couple months.
Couple of months. How does it take a couple of months to put together a costume? What do you start with on Ursula, for example?
And the first thing I did was I did a lot of Googling.
Okay. I like to be Googled. Have you Googled Keys Dan? Google me. No, okay. All right. So, you did a lot of Googling. What did you find out on the Googles?
Well, I just looked at different YouTube videos and how-tos on how to make the tentacles.
Okay.
And just went, okay, screw it, and sat down and drew out a pattern and started cutting fabric.
So you got a few ideas from the YouTube, but then you kind of scrapped that, put that to the wayside, and came up with your own idea?
I did. I freehanded my costume.
Did you YouTube it so somebody else can get that idea?
No.
See, you got to teach while you're learning. So yes, excellent. Okay, so you put the Ursula costume. What took 3 months? What was it? Putting tentacles together or makeup?
Well, between work and kids and
gotcha,
being an adult.
Life happening. Yes, life happening. Okay, so you're that was the hardest one that you could think of that took the most time. What was the easiest cosplay that you did?
My easiest one, again, is in recent years, I did Molly Weasley.
Who's that?
From Harry Potter.
Who's that? I'm kidding. I think I've seen half of one Harry Potter movie. Not that I'm not into it, but I haven't had the time to sit down and watch a movie.
Well, and this is Harry Potter's best friend's mom.
Best friend's mom. So you are the cos mom. Are all your cosplays mothers? Because even Queen Ursula is kind of a mother, isn't she? She is a mother.
She is a mom. Yeah, she has a daughter.
That's right. She's Ariel's mom, isn't she?
No.
Whose mom is she?
She has a daughter that they did one that was on Ariel's daughter.
Ariel's daughter.
And they did a show on Ariel's daughter, and she was in it. And then in the Disney movie Descendants.
Oh, Descendants. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember the Descendants. I was watching that with my 13-year-old. And yeah, you see how I qualified that? I would have watched that if I was by myself. So there, I said
let me tell you, I have seen both of them, and I'm not even going to lie. It's not because there was a kid watching them with me.
Nope. No, good shows. Good shows. And a nice take to where you get the children of your favorite characters in these movies.
Yes.
And yeah, real nice take and what their powers are and what they're able to do, what they're capable of, and what their mindsets are. So yeah, that could be a good cosplay there. So your easiest one was the mother of Harry Potter's best friend.
Yes, Ronald Weasley.
And what Weasley? Okay, now I remember Weasley. He was the redhead. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So okay, what was easy about that?
And because I went to Goodwill and bought the outfit and came home and watched it and put it on.
Perfect. See, cosplay is not hard, kids. You can do it just as easy as that. Go over to a thrift store, check it out. Now I have my own issues.
I'll tell you
yes. Go ahead.
I was going to say the first time that I wore it was to Barnes and Noble. They had a Harry Potter night.
Yes.
And I was just amazed at how many kids were coming up to me calling me Miss Weasley.
Yes, that's excellent. See, and you made their day that they want to take pictures with you and pictures of you.
Oh, yes.
Be a part of you. See, that's another thing about cosplay is it gives you that good feeling. You get to be another character that people already adore. So you already have that adoration built in. When you walk into a room dressed as Ursula, how do you feel? How do people treat you? Do they treat you differently?
Oh, yes, definitely.
I mean, what's your favorite part?
Well, I'll tell you, one of my favorite experiences here recently with the Little Rock community, we were at one of the conventions at the Holiday Inn Airport.
Yes.
And I was doing my Molly Weasley, and I was doing a photo shoot with Terry Lawson. And these kids were out there. I say kids, they were teenagers. They were out there doing photos too. And one of them came up to me and he looked at me and he goes, "Are you Molly Weasley?" And I said, "I am." And he goes, "I hate you." I looked at him, I said, "Why do you hate me?" And he goes, "Because you killed my favorite character."
I'm sure
and
the actors.
Yes. Yeah, talking about Bellatrix Lestrange. And without even thinking, I just looked at him and said, "Well, she shouldn't have messed with my daughter." And he just fell out and was like, "Oh my God, I love you."
Yes, you fell into the gig there. You became that character. That is great, and I'm sure the actors get that all the time. Ooh, I don't like you that much because you hurt somebody who I adored while I was watching the show. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So you get to be a part of that. You get to feel that. All right, Mrs. Weasley. I mean, Christine Higgins. I mean, the Cos Mom. I mean, of the Cos Prom, of the Cos Con. Yes. So here we are. And do you have just the one boy?
No, I actually have two boys.
What? You were procreating?
I do. Yes, I procreated.
Yeah. Who'd you have these boys with?
The first one, we're not going to discuss that.
All right.
But the second one is with my husband. His name is Tony Higgins.
Hooray! I like that guy.
He and my son just turned 4.
Yes. Excellent. So the older one, how old? That's 15. Is he into cosplay as well?
He is.
So you're passing on the gene.
Oh, absolutely. My 4-year-old even cosplays.
Would you stop it? Okay. All right. So they're getting into the gigs. So you take them to different cons all over the place?
We do.
You know, you're getting too old for this dressing up.
No.
I was playing devil's advocate.
There's no such thing.
You're too old for Halloween. I get that every year. Yeah. You're too old to be stressing up like this. Man, if I can have costume balls every week, I would. I would. In fact,
yes.
I feel like I'm doing kind of a costume. Every weekend when I'm doing the DJ thing, I put my bow tie on and my suspenders, and that's my uniform. I feel like that's my costume. I feel different because I'm in shorts and a t-shirt right now, hanging out in the Radio What studios, talking to Christine Higgins on the What Makes You Famous podcast. But on the weekends when I get out and play, I put the bow tie on. I put the suspenders on. You get dressed up. You play the part. And that's what cosplay is. You get dressed up. You play the part. What's your son cosplaying as?
And he's done a couple of different things. He now has an original character.
Oh, see,
that he has made.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, it is. He calls it Cool Guy.
Cool Guy. Yes.
Yes. And anyone who has recently, in the last year, been to a convention in Arkansas or in the Little Rock, Central Arkansas area, has seen him, and he's the one who walks around with the mannequin head on his head.
Okay. That's a cool guy?
And he calls it Cool Guy.
That's a cool guy. All right. And does that make him feel different? Like, does he consider himself a cool guy on a regular, everyday basis?
I will tell you, my son is a very, on everyday thing, he is kind of a recluse. He's not real socially out there. Kind of quiet, very mild-mannered. But when he puts this cool guy costume on, he explodes out of his shell.
Yes.
And he went to SpaCon last year with it, the first day of SpaCon.
Where's SpaCon?
And SpaCon is in Hot Springs.
Hot Springs. Okay, I thought so, but go ahead.
And he went on Saturday as this cool guy, but he wasn't able to go on Sunday. But people were talking about him on Sunday.
Yes. Why wouldn't they?
So it just amazes me. And I will be honest with you, when he first told me he wanted to do this, I thought it was the most stupidest idea ever. But he wanted to do it, so I let him do it, and I'm so glad.
Yeah, and that's what
people just run up to him.
Yes,
to get his picture, and so
I'm sure that gives him a good feeling. I'm sure of it. I was talking about, I'm not sure if I'm a cosplayer or not. And I know that you have a picture of me with the goggles that light up, and I took my suspenders and I put some strip lights on them that are battery operated, and I light those up, and then I'll put a lab coat on and I become Dr. What. And somebody, I asked, is that cosplay? And that's what it is. It's an original character. Yes.
It is original character because cosplay stands for costume play.
Yes. I'm part of the OC. And that was a show,
yes,
wasn't it, on the WB, right? Huh.
It was.
I don't think I've ever seen it, but I'm aware that there is a show called the OC. So, all right. I'm a part of the OC. And I'm talking to Christine Higgins, the Cos Mom, the Cos Prom, the Cos Con. So now, okay, how about the baby, the wee tot, the 4-year-old? What's he dressing up as?
And he does Catboy from PJ Masks.
Catboy. I don't know PJ Masks. Is that an anime?
It's a cartoon on Disney Channel.
Disney Channel. Excellent. And how does he feel when he gets in his costume?
Oh, are you kidding? My son lives in his costume.
Yes. If I was that age, I would not strip out of my underoos. Nope, I'd stay in it. Oh, well, you know what? I was talking about me and my goggles, and there it is on your Facebook header, the picture of all of us from the Cos Prom that I commissioned. I told him, hey, could you take this picture? I need a new cover for my Facebook. And I've seen a lot of people use that as their cover on their Facebook, Christine Higgins. Oh, that's excellent. Okay. So he's cosplaying. How about Tony? Tony?
He does not.
Can't get that man in a costume. No. He's a straight man. He's uptight, He's the guy taking the pictures. No, what is he doing at Cos Proms and Cos Cons and Comic-Cons?
Well, honestly, usually when it is a convention, he's at home with the 4-year-old.
Okay. Okay.
So,
But I've seen Tony at shows. How did that happen?
and the ones that I do, he's there.
Ah, gotcha.
Because I put him to work.
How does he work for you?
He keeps me sane.
Okay, but how's that working out?
It actually works really well. We are complete opposites because, when we first met, he told me that he had a geek side to him until he got to know me, and then he was like, okay, I'm not a geek at all.
Nope.
It's like, well.
You are the champion, my friend.
It's one of those, it's like, just because you like Star Wars doesn't mean you're a geek.
That is correct. You got to take it to a whole nother level. And you have.
Oh, yeah.
You have taken it to a whole nother level. That brings us to right about now. Yes, you have a day job. You're at your day job. You're taking care of the paperwork for people's teeth, making sure they have a nice smile at your dental place. And you can promote the dentist place. This is your podcast. You could do that if you want more people to go into your dentistry.
Well, we are Chandler Family Dentistry. And for the cosplayers who are going to listen to this, we are actually making custom things.
What? You mean you can get your teeth where?
Custom things. And we're in Shannon Hills.
Where?
And the Naperville area.
Okay. Well, yeah, just send me the links to that site, and I'll definitely put them in the show notes so people know how to get their custom teeth and the regular teeth too, so they can have that champion smile, courtesy of Christine Higgins and the gang, and the poor doctor that has walking pneumonia. I feel so bad for him. Oh my goodness!
I know, I do too.
I hope that gets better because I did not like it when I had pneumonia, and that was in my 20s. I haven't had pneumonia, thankfully, later in life. But I was working indoors and outdoors a lot. I was a firefighter back then, and I would be inside in the air condition, and then I would go outside and wash trucks, then go back inside and go outside and lift weights, go out, and then I was in a fire. I forgot about that part. Being a firefighter, you had to do the fire. So a lot of, I thought that I got pneumonia from going indoors and outdoors very rapidly, but I guess you can get it other ways, hanging out in hospitals.
I had pneumonia one time, and it was in my early 30s.
Yes.
I was in Florida, and it was after one of the hurricanes.
Right.
And I was helping with the cleanup and everything, and we had a problem with black mold.
Oh, okay.
And the black mold gave me bacterial pneumonia.
I believe it.
And I was in the hospital for 4 days with it. So
that sounds like a way you can get pneumonia. So the mold. And so, man, I feel for you.
So
Doc.
that's a shout out to anyone who's dealing with the flood right now. When you go in to do the cleanup, wear a face mask.
Yes, ma'am. Learning.
That is so important.
We're learning on this podcast with Christine Higgins, the Cos Mom, the Cos Prom, the Cos Con. Yeah. So, what was well, all right. Let's dig into it. I think I've taken enough of your work time, and I know there's lots of patients that need you need to get back to. How did Cos Mom come about? And was that the first incarnation, or was Cos Con or Cos Prom the first incarnation? And what was your first thought?
Cos Mom was the first one. Mm-hmm. And for anyone who's been in our scene for a while, we had a convention November 2017 called Cosplay Con and Anime Experience, I think was the name of it.
I believe so.
The organizer ended up running off with all the money. And the day of the convention, I was supposed to just be in charge of the volunteers. And when he didn't show up, everybody started asking me, what do I do? So I just kind of jumped in and took over.
As you do.
And I have a tendency to do that. But one of the guests that was there was having a hard moment, and I grabbed him and took him outside and kind of straightened him up. And as we were walking back in, he was like, "You're like everybody's mom, aren't you?" And I said, "Well, I'm old enough to be." And he goes, "You're like everybody's cause mom." And it kind of stuck.
It didn't just kind of stuck. That seems to be your persona now. So, okay, after that anime thing didn't go so well, what was your next idea?
The next idea was, as a cosplayer, I noticed that when we're at conventions, we don't get to talk to each other very much because we're always doing photos and panels and running around like crazy. So I decided to throw a dance for the cosplayers so they could just relax and enjoy themselves. And the first one was Cos Prom in 2018, which you were there.
Where was that?
You were there. That's the one that was in Benton.
Yes. Where was that held at?
Huh?
Where was that held?
It was held at the Gene Moss Building at Tyndall Park in Benton, Arkansas.
And oh yeah, you said I was there? Yeah, I guess I was there.
You were there. You were on DJ.
Yes, I had a good time with you. I had a blast. And like I said, I'm not much of a cosplayer, or at least I say I'm not. Okay, I'm an original character guy. There you go. All right. I'm a cosplayer. There, I said it. I have announced it on the podcast, on Christine Higgins' podcast. I'm a cosplayer. I have an original character, and it's called Dr. What. After the What Radio, the RadioWhat.com station that I've been running. So, yes, I'm a cosplayer. And I get to, what I really enjoy is seeing all the effort that people put into it. And I have this idea where I want to say the effort that these kids put into it. But some of the kids are in their 70s. Some of them are older than that, doing cosplay. And I like it. I like it so much. I was talking to a cosplayer yesterday. That was, it wasn't yesterday. It was the day before. AMH Cosplays out of Michigan, and she says, "Give love to the older cosplayers, because they need love too." I know a lot of the photographers.
Absolutely, I will be 45.
Yes,
on the 16th.
I'm 50.
So.
I'm 50. I can kick. I can stretch and kick. I'm 50. So 45, that's excellent. See, and give love to I know a lot of photographers need to take pictures and they want to get a lot of likes and they want to do, make sure that they get hits on their Instagram, but you got to give love to the older cosplayers as well, because they give as much effort, if not more. Sometimes it takes a lot more effort for an adult with kids and a house and a mortgage to pay to get out into a Comic-Con, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you got a job.
Absolutely.
You got a job. You got to be there 9 to 5, 7 to 4, 8 to 8. Or all hours of the day and night. You got to work. You got to put a roof over your family's head, and you got time for cons, Comic-Con? Do you have time? How do you make time for a Comic-Con? Christine Higgins?
Oh, it's hard. But I do it.
But you know what? You got a Tony Higgins that's helping you out.
I gotta say, my husband is such an amazing support and encouragement that he makes it easy.
That's it. You got a support system, and it's nice that he supports you in your endeavor, and he even takes care of the 4-year-old if the 4-year-old can't make it to the Comic-Cons. But I'm sure I'm sure you take the 4-year-old as often as you possibly can, because it's got.
No, I don't.
No, come on! It's got to be cute with that little costume on. All the people want to take pictures with them.
Oh, it is, but I'm usually working the conventions.
That's true.
Whether I have a booth at a convention or volunteering at a convention or
that's true, or
whatever. That it's kind of hard to keep up with him. And
that's true. I can't remember the last time. I have a 13-year-old, and yeah, I think she'd like to go, and she went to Comic-Con way with me, but I wasn't working that convention. I went there with my little recorder, and I did take some audio. For a podcast, but no, I did not work that convention, and she was able to go with me, and that was a treat for me, because most of the time I'm working the conventions, so I can't have my family there with me. So I'm with you. I understand that. You got to work. You can't have a kid chained up to you. And they're not going to have fun if you're working the whole time. Mommy's got to go this way. I'm sorry, mommy's going to go this way, but I want to go that way. Yeah, the kid wants to spend time in the kid corner and bouncing in the house and getting his face painted. I'm sure, and playing video games. But yeah, it's tough when you're working the convention. So
it is.
There's the hardship of Christine Higgins, the cos mom. Okay, so you did your first cos prom, and what year was that? When was that again? I can't remember.
That was 2018.
2018, and how did that go?
It went great. It was a success. Everybody had just a ton of fun. Yeah. It went very well.
I thought so too. And I'm looking at your. If anybody's interested, go check out the Facebook header right now on Christine Higgins' Facebook page and look at all the cosplayers. Look at all the people that were there. Yes, a bunch of nerds just loving each other, getting together. And that's what the cosplay in society, the cosplay group community is. They're all like-minded people. And they're not completely like-minded. They could be on the left or the right or on different scales of the spectrum, but we're all getting together, just having some fun. People are people. Is that your experience, Christine Higgins?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah. So what's coming up for Christine Higgins?
Coming up in just a little over a month is I'm having my first actual convention.
What?
And it is called CosCon of Arkansas.
How is this different from the Cos Prom?
Because this one is a full-day convention. It's not just a dance.
What time to what time?
It starts at 10 o'clock, and the convention goes until 6. And then from 6 to 8, we are going to have some activities, some karaoke singing, some awards given out. And then the after party is going to be Cos Prom.
Cool.
And it starts at 8:30.
Whoa.
And goes until midnight.
That's great. I like karaoke. I hope I can make it to this one.
Well, you're already coming to it.
Yes, I am. Yes, kids. I'll be your karaoke DJ, and then your DJ. And I'll probably be wandering around the convention if I'm allowed to. Hey, maybe we'll do a compilation Cos Con podcast on the What Makes You Famous podcast. I did that over at Heroes and Angels, and I thought it came out pretty well. And I had a lot of people listen to it, too. So that was kind of neat. So it promoted them a little bit, and I'm happy to promote the CosCon.
One of the things that's different about our convention,
please,
is we are breaking away from the traditional conventions, and we don't really have any big name guests coming in. Because I want to focus on the fandoms.
Well, I heard we had Christine Higgins coming.
Well, yeah, I'll be there.
Oh, the Cos Mom's going to be there. Oh man, I'm stoked.
Yes, the Cos Mom.
I'm so excited. You do have a big name guest.
But a lot of our conventions focus on, which I think is great, but they focus on, meeting this actor or that actor, or meeting this illustrator, this comic book artist. And I think our fandoms are getting kind of shunted to the side.
Yeah.
So I want to give our fandoms a place to celebrate their fandoms. We have got fandom groups coming in from Star Wars, Star Trek. We have a zombie fan group coming in, a post-apocalyptic fan group. We even have a furry fan group coming.
Yeah. You see,
so
you're doing for cosplay what I'm doing with the What Makes You Famous podcast is everybody has a story.
They do.
You don't have to be considered a quote famous. You are famous. You have a story. And if people just sit down and talk to people, you're going to find that they have interesting parts of their lives that they've had. So I'm glad that you're putting this together so people can talk to each other. And I hope I don't see a lot of people on their phones. I know that people are sitting on their phones and on social media. And at least you pull out a phone and you take a picture. Maybe that's cool. Maybe you Snapchat it. Maybe you Instagram it, what have you. But I hope people get to have conversations with each other and learn why they got into cosplay and what other avenues they're interested in. Like your beginnings. You were into D&D and video games. See? And that's where it all started, Christine Higgins.
It did.
And here you are making your own Comic-Con. What?
I am.
How hard was it to do?
Oh, it was, in some aspects, it's been a lot harder than I expected it to be. In other aspects, it's been a lot easier. One of the biggest struggles is being that we're a first-year convention. A lot of people are skittish about it, especially after what happened with the convention that has been so lovingly nicknamed Dumpster Fire Con.
Yeah, but you've already dipped your toes into it with the Cos Prom that happened last year. And that was so nice, such a nice experience. And yeah, I played whatever music they wanted. Cos Prom was people dressed up as their favorite superheroes or their favorite characters if they were going to prom. So maybe it was Batman with a bow tie on. Maybe it was Wonder Woman with a nice dress on, and I thought that was such a cool idea. How hard was it to put together the Cos Prom? Because that came out very well.
That one was actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
When you don't have, the guests that you have to do contracts with and vendors to deal with and all of that, it makes it a lot easier.
So that was a good way to dip your toes into the experience of putting on a show. You put on a show, Christine Higgins. And now you're putting on a bigger show. What made you want to get into this? And okay, so you say you're doing it. Do you have a cast of merry men and women that are helping you do this?
I do.
Cool.
I do.
You can shout them out.
I got to give her a shout out. The biggest help that I've had, her name is Angela Bryant, and she's probably going to kill me for putting her in the spotlight. But
nope.
She has
Angela Bryant.
She has been an absolute godsend. So she has a lot of contacts with vendors. She has some amazing ideas. We're actually going to decorate the convention, which you don't ever see. Nobody ever decorates their convention, and ours is actually a themed. It's themed The Greatest Show.
Yes.
So kind of got a circus thing to it, but the decoration ideas that she's coming up with are just going to blow everybody away.
So what's the date on this?
It is July 27th of 2019.
Hey, that's my little baby brother's birthday. Shout out to West Hughes, Kenneth West Hughes. My little baby brother's birthday. He's in North Carolina, so I don't think he's going to make the con. Oh, well.
And we do have cosplayers coming in from out of state.
I saw that.
Yes, and we've got Cosplay Night Live.
Yes.
That is coming in. One of them is coming in from Tennessee, and one of them is coming in from, I believe, North Carolina.
Yeah, I think they do the Cosplay Night Live, they do like videos on Mondays and just goofing off. Was it the bathtub
they do
time machine?
Videos on Wednesday nights. They do bathtub time machine.
It's Wednesdays, okay. Yeah.
But they also, all throughout the week, one of the 4 girls that's part of Cosplay Night Live is, all throughout the week, they're doing makeup tutorials. They're doing all sorts of Facebook Live feeds.
I like it. Tips and tricks. And you did a thing yesterday, speaking of makeup. What happened to your head?
I cut all my hair off.
I love it. I like short hair. That's excellent. It looks so cute.
Well, I got tired of I had long hair, and I always had it in a ponytail. So
Yes.
it's kind of like, what's the point of having long hair if you're never going to have it down? So it's a lot easier to sit under a wig
Yes.
when you don't have a ton of hair. So
True, and it looks adorbs, totes adorbs. So yes, and yes, you could find that if you stalk her Facebook page, just like I do. And yes, I did say stalk. Was that an accurate? I think that was an accurate word. Because that's what you do when you meet people. Now, what do you think about this? When you meet people on the streets and you get their name and, oh, okay, yeah, I'll meet you later. What do? You Google them. You check out their Facebook. You check out their social media. Is that something that you do?
Oh, absolutely.
You better believe it, baby. and if they're too private, no, I kind of get leery about that. What do you think?
Well, one of the things that I've been doing with the convention and the vendors, because most are contacting me through Facebook, is I look at their Facebook pages and kind of look at the kind of stuff that they're posting. And we did have one that wanted to be a vendor, and we opted not to let them be a vendor because their Facebook page was full of hate.
Right.
It was just, it was full of anti-gay, anti-LGBT, anti-anything that was not hardcore Christian.
Yeah.
And that's just not a fit for us, because one of the things that the cosplay community does is we accept everybody.
Yeah. And you've had this experience with that, with the, what did you call it? The dumpster fire con? Yeah.
A dumpster fire con.
Yeah, you've had that experience. So now you might be a little bit more leery, which is a good thing, because that means you're going to have some quality guests, some quality vendors, because you vetted them quite a bit better than you thought you had to.
Yes, and we have vendors coming in that don't normally go to conventions.
Yes.
Because we're cosplay heavy. And we have a Mary Kay vendor coming that's going to be selling makeup.
That is great. Makeup tips.
What? Yes. I mean, what cosplayer doesn't need makeup?
Yes.
And we've got the nail wraps.
Nail wrap. Yes.
Yeah, it's called Street Color Street.
Oh.
Nail wraps. And it's kind of like fingernail polish, except for it's almost like a sticker.
Dig it.
That goes on your fingernails.
Yeah.
And we have a lip sense vendor coming in. And, because everybody needs lipstick.
Yeah.
I mean, in the
I could use some. I think I'm out.
Female or male. Huh?
I think I can use some lipstick. I'm out. No, that's great.
I mean, we've been thinking out of the box of what kind of vendors that we could bring in that would benefit our cosplay and fandom communities that you don't normally see at conventions.
These are things that you don't think about. This is like behind the scenes things that you're bringing to the front. People that get dressed up, it's not just putting on the costume itself. Sometimes there's a lot of facial things that need to be done, and hands and feet and body makeup even. So you're bringing other aspects of cosplay to this CosCon, and that is great. I'm so stoked. I'm so excited for July 27th,
and
10 a.m.
Right now, we have 32 confirmed vendors.
32. And are they all going to have tables 32. like a regular convention? They have their booths set up, their tables, so they can display their wares. And so during the day from 10 to 6, it's a regular convention. You're going to see, not a regular convention, it's a convention like geared toward cosplayers rather than anything else. So, yes, you've had comic book conventions. You've had horror conventions. This is a cosplay convention is what it's geared towards. And and that is one of the biggest things I like about going to Comic-Cons. And the reason they're called Comic-Cons is because they're about comic books. But this is a CosCon because it's about cosplay primarily.
Yes.
Christine Higgins, you're coming up with something cool for the Central Arkansas area. No, you're succeeding. You're not just trying. You're succeeding. And I thank you for it. How do people find out more about the CosCon coming up on July 27th from 10 a.m. till midnight? You better get a nap, kids. You better get a nap because we're going all day and most of the night.
Well, it's going to be at the Holiday Inn Airport in Little Rock.
Little Rock.
We do have rooms blocked, so if anyone wants to stay the night, call them, book your room now. You can go to CosConOfArkansas.com, which is our website, or you can look us up on Facebook, which is CosCon of Arkansas, or you can look us up on Instagram. I believe our Instagram is CCCP.
Well, I'll definitely put it up in the show notes. I'll put the links up there. So if they want to look it up on there, it will be there. I'm so excited. Christine Higgins. Thank you.
And one of the things too, real fast, that we're doing is entry is only $10.
$10. What a bargain.
$10. Yeah, we wanted to try to keep our entry in, the entry fee low. That's one of the other reasons that we opted not to have any celebrity guests, is to keep that entry low.
And what are the ages on that entry? How much is it for what age?
It's for 6 and up. Anyone 5 and under will get in for free.
For free? That's excellent.
Yes.
That's
and
excellent.
Cause Prom, the after party is going to be catered.
What?
So we are going to have a ton of great food, and we're going to have a cash bar.
Excellent.
And we are actually going to have a signature drink for CosCon.
Okay, you gonna let us know what the drink is?
As soon as we create it, yes, we're in the process of that now.
You should have said it's a super secret. So no, you'll find out when you get there.
The Cause Prom is $5.
Yes.
So for the whole day, for the convention and the after party, it's only $15.
That's
and
great.
if you cannot come to the convention, you still can come just to the prom.
Yes. So it's going to be a fun day, action-packed, with Christine Higgins, the Cos Mom of the CosCon and the Cos Prom, and quite a few other causes. I'm sure you're very community-oriented, taking care of the people.
Yes, this one is actually going to benefit Heroes and Angels.
What? I like those people.
So we've got a couple of things. Yes, we have a couple of things in store. And we're going to have, because it's a circus theme, we're going to have cotton candy and popcorn.
Yes.
That you can purchase, and all of the proceeds are going to go to Heroes and Angels. And Heroes and Angels is also going to have a room set up that's going to have carnival games in it.
Hooray for Heroes and Angels and carnival games.
Yes, and all of the money raised in that room will go to them.
That's great. Such a nice lady, Christine Higgins. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of it. I appreciate it so much.
Oh, I'm so glad that you're going to be a part of it.
Hooray! I know when the Cos Prom and even before that, even during the cosplay that shall remain nameless. No, I had a good time with you. That was our first meeting, and it was just instantly. I knew I liked you, and I knew I liked all the people that you were associated with it. In fact. So, yeah, I had a great time getting to know you, and I'm so glad that we've been getting together and doing these things, and hopefully even more so throughout the years. I'm 50, and eventually I'm going to have to stop DJing, but not today. that day is not today. Every time I think about, well, maybe I should stop doing it, I keep doing it, and I love it. I like being a part of people during their most fun times. So, Christine Higgins, you got some people that need their teeth done.
Yes.
Would you get back to work, you slacker?
One of the things I know, right?
One of the things.
And one of the things that cosplayers need to think about is keeping that beautiful cosplay smile.
Oh,
so
and they can see you and your beautiful smile at the dentistry and at other places as well. Christine Higgins, thank you very much for chatting with me on the What Makes You Famous podcast.
Thank you.
And I will see you very, very soon at the CosCon.
Yes, sir.
The excitement continues. Thank you, Christine. Any last word for the people?
what Stanley said to me, find your passion and live for it.
Dig it, Christine Higgins. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it, party people. It's Christine Higgins, the Cos mom of the Cos Con and the Cos Prom. Make sure you get out there on July 27th, the Holiday Inn at the airport from 10 o'clock in the morning until midnight, the witching hour. Yeah, it's going to be a good time all day long. You better get a nap in. Yeah, get a nap in. Looking forward to seeing all the cosplayers right there at the Holiday Inn. We're going to be chilling at the Holiday Inn. If you want to tell your story on the What Makes You Famous podcast, I encourage you to give me a call at 501-470-6386 or email info@radiowhat.com. That's it for this edition of the What Makes You Famous podcast. It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.
Radio What? The music you want. Hey guys, this is Shelley G with a fast fact. Melba Toast is named after Australian opera singer Dame Nellie Melba. Do you have a fast fact? Share it with us at Interactive Radio, RadioWhat.com.
This is Keys Dan.
And this is Shelley G.
And you're listening to
Radio What?
.com.